Anything you can tease.
You know, there's never nothing we're not working on. You know, you may have seen some stuff at Sea Otter, perhaps. That,
Gravel bike? He's not gonna say anything.
not my words.
I think it's time for a Rad update. What's going on with the brand? All right, I was just at the Trek booth and I saw something that I don't think I ever anticipated from Trek. We are outside the Gorax tent, but you'll notice this is not a Gorax bike. Allie, what are you most excited about for eMobility Day 2026?
The Haul It Gnargo contest. We're gonna see how much stuff we can fit on our Gnargo, and I'm pretty confident in our skills. We might win.
So if you're thinking of attending this event, we're going to show you what you can expect. We're on a group ride right now. We've got panels, we've got free e-bike test rides. You get to explore Bentonville, other bike vendors, a party.
The opening party.
We got Brett here. Brett, what are you most excited about for eMobility Day 2026?
The Red Bull Rampage happening out here, but most importantly, the grand opening ride for Bike Fest out here at eMobility Day. It's going to be epic.
I'm excited about all the brands being here and showing off all the cool product that they have this year.
Oh my gosh, I'm just excited about everybody that's going to come out and try bikes and meeting people. This is such a great event.
The day kicked off with a group ride and just about every kind of bike and e-bike you can imagine rolled out. Big brands, the Amazon e-bikes, and a few wild DIY builds as well. Then came the panels. First up, getting more kids riding through bike trains. My wife also jumped on to talk about why we made the move to Bentonville.
We moved here basically for the infrastructure. We do not like driving.
I also got to talk about how we help our audience figure out which e-bike to buy. I try to start people kind of with this decision tree of basically trying to decide the type of e-bike that they want. Do they need a cruiser? Do they need a cargo e-bike? And the highlight, sharing a panel and ride with Hans Rey, a true pioneer of trials and free riding, now riding as a Bosch ambassador. We're at the headline sponsor booth, Aventon. We got Zach here. What is most exciting from Aventon right now?
I mean, obviously our most exciting bike right now is the current EXP. It's our carbon full suspension mountain bike. Comes with wireless transmission, 140, 150 RockShox suspension, and it comes at a pretty immaculate price. We also have our ADV, which is going to be our aluminum version right over here. This $4,000 price tag is now permanent.
Permanent. $600 off the original price.
People have been loving the Current. The Current's been our most ridden bike last year. This year we brought our new iteration of Solterra with belt drive. We brought our new iteration of the Level 4. We got both the step through.
Oh man, love the purple haze colorway.
Yep, and then we got our step over in the camo.
Anything you can tease on what the team behind the scenes is working on?
You know, there's never nothing we're not working on. You know, you may have seen some stuff at Sea Otter, perhaps. That,
Gravel bike? He's not gonna say anything.
Not my words, definitely his. And we might be looking at some, you know, maybe a couple higher spec levels of the Current coming in the future.
All right. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Thanks, Zach.
yeah.
We are here with Alyssa from Rad Power Bikes. I think it's time for a Rad update. What's going on with the brand?
Yeah.
There's been a company called Life EV.
Yeah, Life EV bought Rad Power Bikes. We are going to keep the Rad Power Bikes brand name, so that's not going anywhere. We are now Rad Life Mobility. The goal is to keep what Rad has built and then improve on it and keep moving forward. So you can expect to see more of our Rad Runners, Rad Wagons. That's not going anywhere. For battery update, we have started to send out some emails for a battery upgrade program. We are looking for signups there. We're working on getting you all Safe Shield batteries, which we're super stoked about.
If someone's watching this once it's posted, timing on getting a battery, when are like a ton of batteries going to be here for people to purchase?
That is a great question. I think there were meetings happening this week that were going on for an actual date. I am thinking like conservatively around 90 days.
Okay.
The hope is sooner. We're going to do everything we can to sooner. We should have an announcement coming soon that will be a little bit more of a hard ETA.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Alyssa, for giving us a Rad Power Bike update. Being a Rad Power Bike owner from the very start, I can't wait to see what happens in the future. All right, I was just at the Trek booth and I saw something that I don't think I ever anticipated from Trek. Matt is going to tell us what is cool about this and why did Trek decide to make a fat tire e-bike? Like,
With our design power and just with our passion of bikes, we wanted to play in that world and play in that market. So this is the Borrego. It's a 720 watt-hour fat-tired 4-inch tire bike.
top load bed.
It's got 85 newton meters of torque in the hub, and it's a beast.
So it has a throttle,
Yep,
which is somewhat new to the Trek ecosystem.
it is.
And also being a hub drive motor, also newer
Yep.
to the
Yep.
Trek ecosystem.
Yep.
I'll call out some other things I think are cool. So we have more kind of handlebars with a larger swoop to them. Also, these tires are just, I don't know, custom designed.
They are designed by us. Yep.
I mean, look at these. These look like E-Moto tires. So this bike is leaving, unfortunately, but super cool from Trek. Thanks to Matt.
Yeah.
For maybe it'll make its way onto the channel for review. I think it's super interesting. $24.99 and 2 tiers.
2 tiers. So there's the Borrego and then the Borrego S,
Okay.
which you cannot sell into California. And that one goes up to 28, so that's a class 3.
Well, I think it's super interesting. Trek coming out with newer e-bikes that I think the audience will like. But let me know what you think of that one. All right, we are at the Segway booth, and they have some pretty interesting e-bikes. So we have the Mushi, that's their utility e-bike, and then we have the Mayan, which is their step-through commuter e-bike.
So what's actually interesting about Segway is we're a technology company that makes bikes rather than a bike company that makes e-bikes. These bikes here that we've launched now have industry-leading technology on them, and this is effectively version 2 of our e-bikes. The Mushi here and the Mayan, and in fact any of the e-bikes that we have, all have airlock on them. So you walk up, Bluetooth recognizes you're approaching, the bike unlocks. Equally, when you walk away, the hub locks physically with a pin inside of the hub to prevent it from being stolen. It has, when it's turned off, it has an alarm on it that makes a sound and the lights flash. It's very loud. The user gets a notification on their phone, and it has Apple Find My if somebody does actually take the bike away from you. This one and this one also, this is really cool. They have a gyroscope in them, which allows the bike to know how steep the hill is. So you can go from what is 500 nominal watts on this bike here, this commuter bike. You go uphill and you can have peak watts of 1500.
So a temporary boost when you need it, but not there when you don't.
Exactly, saving energy when you don't need it. And then you have on the back, you have electronic shifting as well.
Yep. And I think the other interesting thing about Segway is their dealership network. Not a direct-to-consumer brand.
Correct.
This is go into a Segway store or a bike shop that has Segway, and you can sit on it, test it out, have someone walk through everything. They really seem focused on the buying experience.
Even though you can buy bikes on our websites, we pass all those profits on to the dealers when you pick it up at the dealer.
Gotcha. Cool. So if you haven't already, we'll have reviews of both of these bikes available soon, but the Segway e-bikes look like futuristic e-bikes, and they have some of those tech features that we haven't seen from other brands. We are outside the GoTrax tent, but you'll notice this is not a GoTrax bike, but you are a GoTrax employee.
Well, we're excited to offer the Concord Commuter, where we teamed up with Walmart, and we were able to, from a global sourcing standpoint, directly import this from our factories overseas. And we feel like we've built the least expensive, highest quality bike at that price range. For any e-bike consumer, this is the one they would want.
Okay, price point, I know it's under 500.
$478, 350 watt power. And if anybody wants to get into this category and they're questioning and worrying about spending too much money, this is the perfect one to let them get into it and understand the basics of it. This comes with a pedal assist, 5 levels of pedal assist, mechanical disc brakes, Shimano shift, 7-speed.
10 amp hour battery, 36 volt, I'm assuming?
Yep, you got it all. So yeah, he knows this.
Rack, fenders, all
rack,
included?
Fenders, comes with a nice toolkit, assembly videos online. You get this thing up and running quickly.
So online only, or is this one?
This is in limited, it's in stores and online. Not all stores, but in store.
For those of you who don't know, all the Walmart e-bikes aren't necessarily in store, so you can like literally stand over this and see if it's gonna fit you.
That's exactly right.
So,
you can feel it and test it out.
We get the hype.
Okay,
That's
cool.
$500. Tell me what else is going on with GoTrax.
So one of the other ones, this is a fun category. Everybody's excited about the dirt bike looking e-bikes that exist. Digital screen, really nice here.
We got Mag wheels.
Oh yeah.
What's the price? Oh, look at those lights.
This is a $5.99 price point, and in the family we've got $5.99, $5.49, and $4.99. Three separate bikes, max power speed of 15 miles per hour, runs great. We've got teenagers down to little kids riding this thing. And then we've expanded our bike assortment. You can see all sorts of bikes that we have. We're really getting into that. We've been known for the scooters and the hoverboard business, but now we're expanding extensively. Folding bikes, e-cargo bikes.
We'll have a review of the Tundra.
Yep.
We've reviewed the Ranger.
The Ranger.
Looks like the utility bike. We have not reviewed this one yet.
Tail.
And this is
E-Fold.
the E-Fold. We have reviewed this one.
$498. $498. An unbelievable deal.
Lots of exciting things going on with Gorax. Great price point electric bikes, and clearly they're not stopping here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
We've jumped to actual Bike Fest because I didn't get to talk about the Ozark Trail brand at E-Mobility Day. But I think that's a good thing because while we are an e-bike channel, this is going to be Walmart's full suspension non-electric bike. But remember, they started getting into mountain bikes with non-electric bikes, and then we reviewed their hardtail electric mountain bike. So one can only assume that maybe an electric mountain bike at a great price is coming next. But just looking at this bike, I mean, these are all components that I'm recognizing. Maxxis, Atsugai tires, rock shocks in the rear, a Zeb in the front, Dior derailleur. This is super interesting, but what you guys are more familiar with. So this is the bike that I reviewed, $12.98 for a hardtail electric mountain bike. So maybe we'll see a full suspension, and then they also have the gravel bike. And if you aren't aware, the Walmart team has a full lineup of commuter e-bikes, and our goal is to review each one. So make sure you subscribe to the channel because we're going to be covering anything electric that they end up doing. All right, happened upon a cargo e-bike that I've been having my eyes on. This is the Tarran L1. This is Alex. Hi there. And he's going to walk through some of the things that make this cargo e-bike unique compared to other cargo e-bikes on the market.
All right, well, start from the rear part of the cargo. So as you can see over here, there are a lot of gadgets going on over here, but to break it down, this is the radar. And if you look, here's the reflector, and this is also a camera that records whatever happens behind you. And it's
first e-bike with a camera that I've seen at least. At least integrated, I don't know.
Not too shabby, yeah, right? So we also have the camera feed the videos directly onto the screen so you can monitor that real time while you're riding. So that's part of the riding experiences.
And if you get in an accident, you can review the footage?
Oh, absolutely. So all the videos are chopped down in 3 minutes a segment, so they're recorded perfectly. You don't need to worry about that. You run so long and then you somehow lost it on the way. Very interesting part of this is this little system that gets out of them, and the kids can come in and out very easily. You don't need to worry about doing all the weird movement that you will have on other bikes. It's an NFC card that you have to swipe it to unlock, and then only if you unlock with the bike properly charged while you're able to unlock the kickstand. So over here you can see these are the footages that has been recorded from the previous rides, and there's also a sentry mode. If you're away from your bike, you will be able to look through them on your phone. And over here is the navigation part that you could also use your phone navigation and project it onto the screen for easier manipulation.
The Tarran cargo e-bike is set to land around July 2026. Also has folding handlebars and it stands fully upright. Allie was sure to take it for a quick spin. We're here with Gnargo bikes. It wouldn't be a Bentonville bike event without Gnargo.
We're here.
So Alicia is one of the co-founders of Gnargo. You may know Zach, the other co-founder. Tell me what is most exciting about in your e-bike world right now.
E-bike world, we are very excited to have as demos on display our builds with the Bosch system. So previously we'd had our OEM hub motor. We have 3 different options to show what we're doing with Bosch now. So we moved to mid-drive. We kind of have your like premium Mercedes version with our belt drive and 3x3 hub. And then we have a little scale back with the chain drivetrain.
Built in Bentonville.
Built in Bentonville.
Custom colors, custom paint job. There's our Gnargo there. That's what we went with. And you might recognize this. This is their Trishaw. Yes, also with the Bosch motor. And conveniently right next door here.
Yes.
And so yeah, if you're looking for an awesome cargo e-bike. This is like the mid-size, this is the longer one. So maximum storage, medium storage, and there's that Bosch motor. All right, thanks Alicia. All right, we are outside the Magnum tent. Jesse is the owner, he's the guy. What are you excited about when it comes to e-bikes?
Well, we're really excited about some of the new tech that we've involved in all of our new bikes. We've completely revamped the line. Our new bikes all, utilize, one electronic system, making spare parts and service a breeze for dealers and really just very turnkey for customers.
Cool.
We're definitely featuring the trail bikes, the Peak 2.0. Which by my estimation is like the 5th iteration kind of this frame style. We went with a fully integrated 15 amp hour battery that color matches. Cool. All the bikes are coming standard now with fender kits, in-frame displays. So it's actually a color LCD with 6 levels of assist. So in addition, you asked about the other bikes that we've released. We have a fat tire version of the mountain bike called the Edge. Comes in, 4 additional unique colors. We also have a 4-inch by 24. This is kind of where it's a little bit unusual. We have a 24 by 4-inch low step knobby bike.
Okay.
So this is kind of like a very, popular style right now. Fat tire bikes with the knobby tires. That's called the Bliss. And then we have the Wave and the Melody.
Is that an older model?
Yeah, this is actually one of our older models.
Okay.
Worth mentioning, I will say that, Magnum and our relationship with Costco. Magnum is the bike of choice for Costco. Costco's decided to bring us in now on our 4th consecutive year as their bike of choice.
Yeah.
With Costco comes customers who love to return, just no matter what. It's just part of being with Costco and why maybe it's not for everybody. Magnum, though, has been able to stand up a CPO program with a 45-point inspection on return bikes. This makes bikes available to consumers at below wholesale prices at times for really open box bikes with anywhere from 0 miles to less than a few hundred. It's a really cool program. A bike like this, the Cosmo, which originally retailed for over $2,000, is now available to consumers, at $10.99.
There you go. Costco e-bike, $10.99. This is the one.
It's the one.
There you go.
It's pretty special.
Thanks, Jesse.
Yeah, thank you.
Kelly's was also there, new to the US at least, running Panasonic mid-drive motors. That was interesting to see. Definitely a brand to watch in the direct-to-consumer space. And Ebike had some of their newer models on display that we've reviewed. Also their folding e-bike, the Helios. They also had a full suspension fat tire e-bike under the Jason brand, plus an electric dirt bike under the Yasma label. The day wrapped up with Gnargo's Hullet competition, random items, assigned point values, and whoever cleared the course with the highest score took it. And we won, second only to the Gnargo team themselves though.
I feel like you're all speechless. I'm speechless.
From there, it was the closing party, but the fun really rolled right into the weekend with all of Bentonville Bike Fest. Bosch's Hill Climb Challenge at the Oz Bike Park was a blast. Thanks for watching and hanging out with us as we show you exactly what E-Mobility Day is and what Bentonville Bike Fest is all about. Hope to see you next year.